If you're driving a new Camaro, Mustang, Challenger, Charger, any of the new muscle cars, you more than likely have some kind of vinyl accessory, stripe package, some kind of badging. If you don't, you probably have a clear bra or some kind of protective film. These are different materials than paint and need to be treated differently. To avoid kind of damaging them or doing anything we don't want to do, it's key to tape these areas off first. We've already washed the car. Next, we're going to start with clay, but before we even take anything to the paint, I'm going to use masking tape. Any of your standard blue, green, I'm using an orange, masking tape, something that's a low tack, and you want to tape off just the edges. You don't want polish and wax caked up along those edges because it's going to make them unsightly, ugly, and it's difficult to remove. I like to overlap by just a little bit. As much as I can kind of hug that line, I do. 1/8 of an inch is good. As close as you can get.
Now this car is incredibly rough. Now, not always, however, can you feel the contaminants on your clear coat. So if you're in question as to whether or not your car needs to be clayed, take a plastic bag, put your hand inside, and gently, gently rub over the finish. Now this thing is rougher than a night in jail. Unbelievable. So there's no question that this car needs a Claybar. Now what's a Claybar? A Claybar removes all the surface contamination. And no matter what, you want to make sure and clay before you polish. Our Claybar comes in a huge brick. So we're going to take about 1/3 of the bar, break it off, and then I'm going to flatten out and work this little piece of clay a little bit larger. Now, how I like to do it is on the glass. I use the detail spray as a lubricant, and then I smash the clay out, get it perfectly flat, and then I have a perfectly flat piece of clay. Clay removes all of the bonded contaminants that are on the clear coat. Now, this car and most cars are not made anywhere near where they're sold, so they're shipped on trains. Well, rail dust is the actual brake dust from trains that gets on vehicles, and what it does is it contaminates the clear coat. It makes them rough, it makes them bumpy. Paint over spray will do the same thing, and this is how you remove them. So you spray a small area with our detail spray, and then take the Claybar and gently you rub over the surface. I go back and forth, and then I go the opposite direction to make sure I've removed all of the contaminants. You can actually feel, as you rub, you can feel the contaminants breaking loose and coming up into the Claybar. Now, I'm going to get you to get a close-up of this, because no matter what, this is going to be a really rough Claybar. So, perfect. See this. Look at all of the contaminants inside that clay. You can actually see the little orange and black specks and all the contaminants that are on this Claybar. It's incredible. There's so much on this car, it's amazing. No matter what, I'm also going to want to do the entire vehicle and always the glass. As the Claybar becomes completely contaminated, as you can see all the stuff that's on that bar, when it gets to be like this, consistently contaminated throughout the bar, I'm going to want to stretch, fold, and work that contaminant deeper inside the bar. People say, oh, where's that contamination going? It's going way deep inside the bar. No, it's not going to hurt your car. And when you know your Claybar, your little piece of clay, is about dead, is when you're stretching and folding it, it starts sticking to your fingers. It'll start to just lose its integrity and break down, and then you'll know, toss this piece, get a new one. While you're claying, if you happen to drop the bar on the ground, this is probably pretty much dead. So unless you are in a medical, perfect, clean room, take that Claybar that you just dropped on the ground and drop in the trash. Your clear coat, your paint is worth way more than that little piece of clay. So just go ahead and throw it away if you drop the piece.